Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dom here from the West of PF Display, and episode 1 of Tractor Talk. I'm going to be starting this episode, and I'm really excited to start this episode. Episode 1 of Tractor Talk. We're going to be talking about varieties of tractors and what forth. Let's get on to it. So here you're seeing a Gleaner Combine. Ertl has made the newer Gleaner Combines. I feel like, personally, they should make the older ones. These ones are usually made off the older John Deere combines, and people just redo them up for the Gleaner and customize them. I like that. I love these old school Gleaners. These are something that you don't see very often, and I think that is one of the reasons why I think Ertl has not really produced them yet. But I definitely think that this is something that they should do. Older combines, I think, are something that is more and more popular on displays. A lot of people are just running John Deere combines. I personally don't like to see that because I like to see variety in displays. I don't want this guy's displays looking like the guy that Toy Tractor Times video I just watched. I don't feel that. I don't really dig that vibe. But I feel personally that these need to be made. When people customize them, they look really, really, really good. Definitely a cool piece. Definitely I would add on my display. I don't know about anybody else, but I would definitely add one onto my display. I love them. Ertl's definitely making advancements. I mean, the tractor community is definitely making advancements. This is the Minneapolis Moline G1000 Vista that SpecCast and Toy Tractor Times just released a couple months ago. This is a beautiful tractor. It runs for about $25 to $45, depending where you're looking at getting it, depending shipping, of course, too. But this is such a nice tractor. There is nothing that is bad about this tractor. I mean, I feel like personally we need to see more Minneapolis Molines, more Cockshuts, more Olivers, because these are the tractors that people had on their farms back in the day. They did have John Deere's, they did have Cases, but I feel like I've never heard of some of these other tractors. Like, oh, check out this one at the show. Is this this Oliver Super 6? No, this is a really rare Oliver, and it's something that a lot of people did have though, but it's rare nowadays. I feel like some of the displays are getting too modernized. We got to keep it real with I talked about this in the last episode. Too big of equipment for the too small farms and all that stuff that you see nowadays. Something like this would have been perfect. And I love this tractor. I like the yellow because, like I said, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with a Minneapolis Moline on their display. It's not something that you see. It's not common, but I love it. I love seeing this new stuff coming on displays. I like seeing the new colors, and it's nice. Needless to say, it's a nice advancement. I hope that they can make more. That is a SpecCast model, may I say. Next up, Ertl making a big step here with Alice Chalmers. They made an Alice Chalmers back. I think it was a 7580. It was back a while ago. They re-released it. They released the D19. I'm pretty sure there's, I think, another one that they released as well, too, but I forget it. We're getting Alice. We are getting Alice Chalmers, and this is great. Ertl is definitely advancing what they're doing here in 2017 because, let's face it, the past couple years for tractors have been pretty damn boring. We went from having back in, I think, 2015, some nice four-wheel drives. We had the 4786, 4586, stuff like that. And now we're getting these quad-track tractors that you don't see. This 7580 right here, that you're seeing on your screen now, is definitely a really cool piece. One I want to add onto my display, nonetheless. It's nice. You do not see Alice Chalmers that often, and I love the fact that they are now putting that there, now making this available. Back in 2013, Jason Heiser did the guy came like third or second place. He did an all Alice Chalmers farm. You don't see that nowadays. You really don't. This guy did most of the tractors either 3D printed or custom work on other tractors. And especially that because the older 7580s were getting really hard to find, really expensive, and now we have a cheaper and better and newer option, which I love. Here we got a Steiger. You know what? I love four-wheel drives just as much as the next guy. I love seeing four-wheel drives on displays because they look so girthy. They look big. It shows the size of the display. And I love these. I love this that they're releasing these new Steigers. Personally, because you see a lot of the case tractors, a lot of the case four-wheel drives, but this is something that's new, and it's nice to see, especially because a couple of years ago, Ertl started really producing Steigers. They really produced, they even got, I think it's a PT or PTA or whatever, 280 that comes with a disc. And that's a nice tractor. Also, four-wheel drives, we got the Prey Monster series that was released by Ertl, I think, a couple years ago. And these tractors are nice. They are girthy, and they definitely, I personally, I don't like brand new tractors. I don't like these brand new tractors. I like these old school machines that are more common to see on regular farms, and not only that, but farm displays as well. I like seeing these big old Ford, this is a Versatiles, which you guys are probably going to see a picture of Versatile. I know there's big buds there too. And then you start seeing these on displays, which are cool to see because I like I said, I like the vibe of these four-wheel drives, these older four-wheel drives that had, triples and duals, and just show that, term that bigger is better. Maybe not always, but definitely like these, these older Versatiles here too. Big buds, all that kind of jazz. I'm a four-wheel drive guy. I love four-wheel drives. I've probably said that enough in this video. I cannot say it enough. I like two-wheel drive tractors too, but when it comes to four-wheel drives, if I'd rather go to, let's say, a two-wheel drive smart tractor show against a four-wheel drive show, I'd probably go to the four-wheel drive show because I like the way that they look. There's nothing else to say about that. There's nothing more that I could say there, but I love them. There's no way around it, and I plan on getting a lot of them. And you know what? Speaking of these tractors, they aren't that expensive either, which makes it affordable for everybody.